YouTube, how's it going? It's Jump to Hyperspace, and I'm back with another video. We're doing something a little different today. We are starting off the new year with, in my opinion, the 3 best beginner decks for all new Star Wars Unlimited players. These decks will probably come as no surprise, as many of them are very good. But I think if you are getting into the game, brand new to the game, like I am within the last few months, these decks are good places to start, good places to build off of, and can definitely get you locals wins for sure, and I'm sure make deep tournament runs. So the first one we're going to start with is Darth Vader. As always, before we get into this, I want to mention that this is not my deck list. This list belongs to Quinny Quacks. They used it to come 4th place out of 57 people at a planetary qualifier in Ohio on December 20th. Now, I also want to break down why I'm picking these 3 decks to be good starter decks. And the major reason is cost and playability in the game. So I did the math, and as you can see on screen, you can build Darth Vader for $40.13 Canadian, or $55.57 including the sideboard. Very cheap deck to get into the game, and the majority of the main deck comes from Victor Leader, which is $16 by itself. Honestly, I bet you if you ask people at your locals, hey, do you have these cards? They're going to give you most of the cheap things for free. I would be surprised if you had to pay full price for this deck. It's a great deck. As you're going to see in the breakdown of the gameplay, it does what it's supposed to, and it's a great intro deck for any player. Let's get into the deck explanation. If you want to go hyper aggro and win every game 1, this is the deck for you. Darth Vader is really simple. It says, if you've attacked with a non-vehicle token unit this phase, create a TIE Fighter token. And then when you flip them over, it just says, attached unit is a leader unit. When deployed as an upgrade, create 2 TIE Fighter tokens. Super simple, super straightforward. And we're going to go through the list. We're going to break down the cards, and we're going to talk about what does what. But like I said, if you even are just getting into the game, you know about 4-color Darth Vader. Now, I say if you want to win every game 1, this is the deck to start with. And that's a joke somebody told me at locals, because they said this deck should win you every game 1, and then people will tech cards against you, and you will probably lose. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't played it in a best of 3, but in a lot of the best of 1s I've played, this is the place to start. So I've talked about the leader. Let's go with the base. You're starting with Jabba's Palace, and it's just a standard 30 health yellow base. The idea here is you're going to use green Vader with yellow base for the best combination of troops. Nothing really to talk about the base. You could probably play a different yellow base if you wanted. I think Jabba's is great because it has 30 health, but I'm sure people are playing different bases. Right, we're going to start off the space units with Clone Combat Squadron. This is going to be your top-end unit here. One of your top-end units, at least. You're going to drop it on 4, hopefully, and it's going to be 5-5, 6-6, 7-7, 8-8. It can be quite big, because the idea is you're going to be dropping 1 drop, 2 drops, and then making TIE Fighter tokens. Slam this on 4, and hopefully attack base for a lot. The idea with Vader is you're just going to overwhelm your opponents really quickly and really fast. As you'll see, every card in the deck wants to do that. We'll go on to 3 copies of Eager Escort Fighter. This card, I'm sure if you're playing a space deck, you've seen it. It's a 3-cost 4/1 with Ambush. Again, great stat line if you're just trying to kill something. If your opponent has a ship in the way, then you just drop this, hit it. Drop this, potentially swing base. There's a lot of value with this card, but it's going to get killed pretty fast. A Cad Bane can easily kill this card. Quinlan Vos could probably easily kill this card because of just the 1 stat point for health. But if you can get an attack off of it, you're probably doing really good. Or if you can clear something with it, you'll be in a very good spot. We're going to move on to First Order TIE Fighter. Again, small guy. 1 resource, 2/1. But while you control a token, it gets raid 1. And you're going to control a token. You're going to control a lot of tokens. The idea, again, drop this, swing hard. Not much to it. I don't want to make this deck sound too simple because there is lines to it, but it's a pretty simple deck. You want to go fast and you want to not get board wiped. So we're playing 3 copies of that. 3 copies of the Lurking TIE Phantom. I like this card. I like the 2/2 stat line with the raid 2, and then it can't be captured, damaged, or defeated by enemy card abilities. That's pretty good. It gets around Tarkin Town. It gets around Quinlan Vos. It gets around Cad Bane. It's interesting. It's decent, and I think it's good. Now, I actually should make a little asterisk. I believe it gets around Quinlan Vos and Cad Bane because it says enemy card abilities, but I don't want to promise that it does. I'm about 95% sure that it does, though. I just haven't had it come up yet. Hello, Editing Hyperspace here. I just wanted to quickly clarify that yes, it does get around effects like Cad Bane, and it gets around effects like Quinlan Vos. I looked it up, and I found a judge ruling that linked to this picture here. I, for privacy reasons, will not share the judge ruling as I found it on Facebook. I don't want to put out their personal information, but this is the official ruling from a judge and the SWU website. Moving on, we're going to the Mining Guild TIE Fighter. 1 resource, 1/2, and then on attack, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. Again, super simple. I haven't used this ship a lot. Honestly, I usually resource this one and try and get other things out, but it's a good stat line because you can get out the Vader X-Wing token. So not a bad card to start with. Republic Y-Wing, again, cheap. It's a 1 resource, 1/3, vanilla. You're resourcing this or you're just attacking with it. Because if on turn 1 of the game, when you have 2 resources, you can go 1 drop, 1 drop, you're already pretty far ahead. Probably ahead of your opponent's board. So a good card to also just keep and slam down if you can. We've got everyone's favorite ship, the Sanctioner Shuttle. This card is great if your opponent puts a Sentinel ship in the way or just like a target or threat you need to deal with. So coordinated, when played, this unit captures an enemy non-leader unit that costs 3 or less. It itself is a 3 resource 2/3. Again, slam it, get rid of something, hopefully, and attack your opponent's base. There's not many times with this deck where you want to be attacking into the units. You want to just push face as much as you can really fast. We've got the Screeching TIE Fighter. 1 resource 2/1. On attack, you may choose a ground unit. If you do, it loses keywords. Now, this is great for anything you're going to see. Sentinel, Shield, Experience. There may be a reason for you to bump a specific keyword. This is great for that. If you're not going to see that if you're pretty positive you're not going to see that in your opponent's deck, then it might be okay to just resource this. That'll be matchup dependent, but that'll come up when it comes up. I like this card. It's brand new. It has Secrets of Power, and it's quite good. Next up is the TIE Dagger Vanguard. Again, we're playing 3 of these. Pretty simple. It's a 3 resource 2/3, and it says, when played, you may deal 2 damage to a damaged unit. Now, this is great if you can trade in a small token or one of your small ships to hit something and then clear it with the TIE Dagger to make room for more attacks. Ideally, you're going to attack one of your small tokens into a ship with Sentinel, and then you clear it with this, and then keep swinging the base. Just a great removal tool. Also, like a 2/2 stat line's fine. Next up, we have Victor Leader leading from the front. Now, iconic art and iconic ship. This is your raid leader card. A little Hearthstone reference. If any of you played Warrior Hearthstone, and it just says each other friendly space unit gets +1/+1. Fantastic effect, especially when you're buffing your tokens. The tokens, they go from 1/1 to 2/2. Unfortunately, you can't jam 3 of these at the same time because they are unique, but still just a great resource to make your tokens and your ships hit that much harder. A 3 resource 2/4 is not bad stat line. The 4 health is nice. And yeah, you're just going to be using this to buff out your already wide board. Next, we have the Geonosis Patrol Fighter. We got 2 copies of it. And it says, exploit 2 while playing this card. Defeat up to 2 units you control. This card costs 2 resources less for each unit defeated this way. When played, you may return a non-leader unit that costs 3 or less to its owner's hand. So, you're going to use this again to clear like a Sentinel ship or to clear something else. Maybe you clear 2 tokens to play this for cheap, and then you bump one of your opponent's ships to their hand. Great effect. I've used it a few times, and it helps you clear board, helps you deal with threats that would otherwise take multiple attacks. Yeah, decent effect, situational, but good. The exploit 2 will not be hard to pull off with your tokens, as you'll see, but overall, a decent ship. Next up, we have the Shuttle ST-149, 4 resource 3/4. It's shielded, which is nice. And then when played and defeated, you may take control of a token upgrade on a unit and attach it to a different eligible unit. Decent. If you're playing against something that's playing with a lot of upgrades, hotshot blasters, lightsabers, sudden ferocity, and you can just steal that, it is quite good. You're going to get hopefully 2 triggers off if your opponent is not playing around this. But yeah, situationally good, but a decent ship. When it comes up, you'll be thankful for it. Next up, we have 2 copies of the Stolen AT Hauler. Now, this is a good stat line on a 3 resource card, but an interesting effect. So it says it's a 3 resource 4/5. When defeated, choose an opponent. For this phase, they may play this unit from its owner's discard pile for free. Essentially, you're going to drop this on 3, hopefully attack on 4, and if they kill it, your opponent can play it for free. Now, that's interesting because it's a risk versus reward. The stat line for you is good, but them getting able to play it for free is not great. This is one of those moments where you will play the Geonosis Patrol Fighter to potentially bump it back to its owner's hand, or you'll get around it with other cards. But essentially, it's an interesting card because it's a big body for them to deal with. Your opponent probably will deal with it, and they will play it for free. But if you can get a few attacks off with it, you're going to be in a decent spot because it's more damage on their base, and you have ways to remove it and clear it. So, interesting card with a unique effect for sure. On our last ship is the TIE Fighter. TIE/LN Fighter. Sorry. TIE LN Fighter. It is a vanilla 1 resource 2/1. Great card in the beginning of the game when you can just drop it for either resourcing or early game pressure to just slam 1 or 2 of it and say, deal with this. Now, again, against Cad Bane or Quinlan, it's going to be interesting. Quinlan might not be able to deal with this as easy because they might not be playing a 1 resource card, but Cad Bane can definitely deal with this card quite easily. So in those situations, you might resource it. Again, matchup dependent, but very cool ship. You just play it, you slam it, and hopefully you attack with it. That wraps up the space units. As you'll see, this deck is very space heavy. You play no ground units. It is all space, and you're hopefully going to just outrace your opponent in space. We've got a few events here, and then we'll get right into the gameplay. So first event we're playing 3 copies of is No Good to Be Dead. Exhaust a unit. That unit can't ready this round. Great for stopping your opponent if they have threats or slowing down their board presence a lot while you just attack. You will use this card quite often. Very good card, very decent, and it comes up almost every game. Secondly, we have Outmaneuver. Choose an arena, ground or space, and exhaust each unit in that arena. There is a trend here with your events. You are just going to try and exhaust your opponent's their units, so they cannot attack you, and you're going to keep attacking. Nothing much to it. You're just going to hopefully exhaust, or you're going to smack them down with damage, but ideally exhaust and keep swinging. Next up, we have 2 copies of Trade Route Taxation. Choose an opponent. If you control more units than that opponent, they can't play events for this phase. Now, this card is going to be really good if you can get a read on your opponent. If they're playing a board wipe, this card is going to be phenomenal. Because if you can stop them from doing that, if you can play this the turn before they play Supermassive Laser or they play Overwhelming Barrage, then you're in a great spot. Because they're now behind on board, probably, and can't use their main tool to deal with you. I was playing against a guy the other day, and I dropped this card, and he said, LOL, GG, scrub, and then immediately quit out of the game because he couldn't clear my board. Gave me a chuckle, made me laugh. Probably wasn't too fun for him. Lastly, we have Waylay. 2 copies. Return a non-leader unit to its owner's hand. Again, continuing on trend, you're just going to try and stop them from playing resources or from playing units. You're going to exhaust those units, and you're going to stop them from ideally stopping your game plan. We've got 3 A-Wings. I'm not sure why Melee is doing this, because this is a ground unit, but it's a space unit, but it's a 1 resource 1/2 with raid 1. Great card. I actually would rather play this versus the 2/1 because you get raid 1 and you get extra health. So if, situationally, I would rather have this card over a standard TIE LN Fighter because you're getting that extra health and you're still getting the 2 attack. Going over the sideboard really quickly, we've got 2 copies of Busy Natal. When played, look at your opponent's hand. You may discard one of those cards. If you do, that player draws a card. Now, this is going to be great when you're sideboarding against control. If they've got ways to slow you down, or if they've got board wipes, or ways to stop your units, this is going to be great. You'll use that for this. And a 1/3 stat line is not bad. We've got 2 copies of Confiscate. Again, defeat and upgrade. Just slow your opponent down. It costs 1. You can play it almost any turn that you want to because you're going to be playing low-cost space units. Just a way to slow your opponent down and stop them from hopefully beating you. We've got 2 copies of Overwhelming Barrage ourselves because, well, we're playing a lot of small space units. This will be great in many situations, whether you're dealing with a mirror match, or you're dealing with another space battle, or you're dealing with something you need to wipe. If you're playing a space deck, this card's incredible. Even if you only hit for 6 damage, that's still 6 damage that you get to assign wherever you want. very good. We got one copy of Stolen AT Hauler. We've been over this card. You can play the third one in the deck if you want, but having it in the board is nice. One copy of Surprise Strike. Attack with a unit. It gets +3/+0 for this attack. Pretty self-explanatory. You just want to use this to rush your opponent's base as much as possible. One copy of Trade Route Taxation, which we've been over, and one copy of Waylay, which we've been over. And that's the deck. We're going to get into the gameplay in a minute. But again, shout out to Quinny Quacks for this deck. This is not my deck. We're going to start the gameplay here, and then we'll get into the next deck. All right, and we are queued up for our game. We are against Anakin. This is going to be an interesting deck because they're going to try and go fast. They've got Data Vault, which means they've got a little bit more health. But let's see how this can go. I don't like this hand because there's no real big threats. I don't want to start the Stolen AT Hauler. So I'm actually going to mulligan this. Our opponent has the initiative. And this is much better. It's decently better. So I'm gonna drop No Good to Me Dead and the Patrol Waylay. I'll drop Waylay. Maybe that's wrong. But we're just gonna try and go ultra fast here. So they've got their ship out already. That's not great. But we're gonna drop a ship. They're gonna claim the initiative likely. Yep. We're gonna drop another ship. And we haven't attacked, so we cannot make a token at this juncture. So we'll just pass to them. Now, I think they're going to attack into us, so we're going to keep the TIE Dagger Vanguard up. I'm going to put down Outmaneuver. And we'll see what they do here. They have initiative. If they attack us first, which they did, okay, then we just play TIE Dagger Vanguard and take this out. And we're going to attack into them, and we're going to hopefully make a TIE Fighter token. Now, Anakin's interesting because if they ping their base and then attack us, they get +2/+0, but they're not going to have that this turn because there's no ambush unit that I'm aware of for 3 in Anakin. They did open fire the Vanguard, which is fine. It's unfortunate, but fine. We attack for 1, we make a TIE Fighter token, and we are off to the races. We'll pass. This could be good in the end of our turn. So I'm going to drop the Screeching TIE Fighter because Sanctioner Shuttle also good. There's Andor. Okay. So we're just going to start by attacking. We'll go with this. I don't think I want to draw here. No, I do not want to draw here. Because we can potentially get out a lot more. So we go this. There's claiming the initiative. We'll attack. We're going to bump Andor back to their hand. We're going to trigger exploit. Bump these. We have to exploit 2. Bump Andor back to their hand, and now they're behind on board. Now we play the A-Wing, and we pass. Just like this, the deck is already working. We're already running, and we're just going to drop... I'm not going to resource here. There's no reason to. We're just going to play Victor Leader and start attacking. This is the whole idea behind Vader. Just go fast, go attack. Not usually attacking into their units. We'll see what Anakin does here. He might have some removal for us. And let's see what they have. If we can just attack with... we can get Victor Leader down and start attacking, we are in a very good space. There's Andor again. Okay. We'll just play Victor Leader, and we're going to just keep hitting them hard. Next turn, we're going to go 5 and then flip Vader and just make more TIE Fighter tokens. Defeat the upgrade. Okay, that's fine. Now we start attacking. Make a TIE Fighter token, and again, we're off. Okay. That's interesting. I actually think... well, I need to resource here. I should have resourced last turn, actually, to make Vader. That was a mistake. I didn't do it, and that was a slight misplay on me. You always want to get Vader out as soon as you can. Let's see what they go with here. If they go for the upgrade, I'll play Shuttle. What do they do? Open fire. Okay. We're going to deploy Vader. Oh, no, sorry. I want to deploy. Oh, he's on 6. Wow, I'm a goofball. Interesting. I think we're just going to go, and we're just going to keep hammering him. I'll get the little attack off. I'm hoping they drop an upgraded resource. I could actually... No, I'm going to still pass that. I could have... That's a slight mistake, because if they... I don't know if they're going to. Anakin 7-7. We'll do this. Now I wish I had Waylay, or a way to exhaust units. The 7 damage is bad on our base, because we have to be careful. We're just going to drop here. I actually maybe could have played the Sanctioner Shuttle to knock out a target. That might cost me. Let's find out. Okay, I'm just gonna drop this. I think we're still in a winnable spot. We're just going to go Vader and hope. We're going to put the Vader here on the lurking TIE Phantom so they can't stop it. And then we're going to attack, hopefully, almost for game. We'll see what they do, though. It's definitely possible we lose. Some sudden ferocities would hurt a lot. That would hurt. See what our opponent resources. We also could sanction our shuttle. Okay. Deploy Vader as a pilot here. 7-7. Is this going to cost us the game? It might. I need to be careful. Let's see, 11. That puts him to... He probably has an upgrade. Let's see what he does here. That puts him to 8. If he has an upgrade here, we lose. If he has like a sudden ferocity or a blaster, that wouldn't be great. But let's see. If he has to, if he attacks me here, then I think we, so I think we just win. Unless he's got some crazy way to do extra damage. Yeah, we just win. Pass. And that's it. That's the game. We'll say GG. They already left, but we'll say GG anyway. And that's Vader. That's how the deck works. Now, we did get a little close because I didn't play around resource. If they had an upgrade, we lose here. But that's Vader. We just overwhelm the board, we keep attacking, and we just slam them as hard as we can. So that's the Vader portion of this video. I'm going to get into Quinlan Vos next, and we will see you in that part. Okay, now it's time for the Quinlan Vos deck breakdown. Now, like always, this is not my deck. This deck was played by JY11 at a planetary qualifier in El Paso, Texas on December 13th, 2025, and they came 6th place. Now, this list is really solid. As far as Quinlan goes, it's pretty standard. There's a lot of repeat cards. If you play Quinlan or have looked at Quinlan lists, you're going to see a lot of familiar cards, but this list is solid, and so shout out to them for coming 6th place. Right off the bat, we're going to start with the man himself, Quinlan Vos. Now, when I started playing the game, I played Red Luke and Green Vader, and this is the first upgraded-ish deck my friend showed me. It is a Tarkin Town deck, which we'll get to in a minute, but we'll start with Quinlan. Now, Quinlan says he's a yellow leader, and he says, when you play a unit, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, deal 1 damage to an enemy unit that costs the same as the played unit. He deploys on 5, and his effect is very similar. So he's a 5 resource 3/7, and he says, when you play a unit, you may deal 1 damage to an enemy unit that costs the same as or less than the played unit. So we get the added bonus of or less. So if you're dropping 7 costs, you could ping a 3 cost if you wanted to. Quinlan is a fantastic leader for this reason. You always want to let your opponent go first. If you have the initiative or the choice, let them go first, because you want to counter out what they play. So if they lead with a green squadron A-wing, they drop a 2 cost. You can also play a 2 cost and ping it for 1. You could then Tarkin Town if you wanted to, which again we'll get to in a second. But it's so good. Quinlan essentially just lets the tempo keep up because he's always pinging. Every turn you want to be playing cards that progress your board state. So on turn 1 you're playing a 2 cost. On turn 2 you're playing a 3 cost. On turn 3 or 4 you're playing, you just go up and up and up. And Quinlan wants to always ping and always be aggressive. I really like this deck because of the way it plays. It's aggressive, but also tempo based, and I really do like that. If this leader wasn't rotating in a few months, I'd probably build the deck, but it's really good. His effect is good, his flip is good, and for that reason, I think Quinlan is a great deck to start with. Now, I've said it a bunch. Tarkin Town. What is Tarkin Town? Let's get into it. Again, if you're playing Star Wars at all, I'm sure you've seen this base, but if you're brand new to the game and just wondering what is going on, this is Tarkin Town. It's a really good base. It's red, so Quinlan plays red and yellow. And it's 25 health base, which is low, but it's because the action that it gives is so good. It says epic action, which means once per game. Deal 3 damage to a damaged non-leader unit. So, what does that mean? We're going to let our opponent go first. Ideally, they drop a ship or they drop something that costs 2. We respond with a 2 cost, and then we can Tarkin Town it. So their first turn is gone. Yes, Tarkin Town is out of the way and it's used, but it's such a good play on turn 1 in most cases because you're clearing whatever it is. Now, something like a Gungi is going to live. That's got 5 health. It's gonna live even if you ping it with Quinlan. But other than that, like, not a lot of cards are living through this. And now, I said that Tarkin Town is good on most turn 1s. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you want to hold it when you know a bigger threat is coming. But for the most part, Tarkin Town in combination with Quinlan is so good because you're clearing whatever you want. If you're playing against a Vader and they drop like a 2-1 ship, or a Luke and they drop a 2-1 ship, you're probably just going to kill it with Quinlan. It's so good. His ability's good. Tarkin Town enables him more. So that's why we're going with this base. We play a lot of ground units and not a ton of space units. So we'll just start at the top. We'll go with the ground units. I've talked about this card a lot in my Red Luke lists, but this is Cassian Andor. Rebellions are built on hope. Now, I'll go over it quickly just in case you haven't seen the Red Luke or you skipped over Red Luke or whatever. Andor costs 3, but you're probably not going to play him for his 3 cost. You might, because a 3 resource 3/5 is fine. The damage is good and the health is beefy, but you can also smuggle him out. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, smuggle means you can play it from your resources, but it costs more. So in the beginning of the game, you could resource Andor, and then on turn 3, on turn 3, when you can play 5 drops, you could smuggle out Andor and ready him and then attack right away. It's a good card. It's good for that reason. There's a lot of good potential with it. I love smuggling this card out. I actually will mostly smuggle it out instead of play it hard cost, but it's very matchup dependent and it kind of depends what you're going with, but that's Andor. He's very good. He keeps the tempo going because even if you play him on turn 2, he's a 3 resource 3/5. That's going to be hard for your opponent to deal with. Even if you just drop him right on play, it's going to be hard for your opponent to kill 5 health on the second turn of the game. Good card, good stat line, good body, and great smuggle effect. All right, Chopper. Now, I have to admit, I hate this card. I know there's good uses in it, and I know I'm going to get flack for that. This card's very good. I personally don't like it. Chopper is a 2 resource 4/1, so Quinlan could ping it and kill it. If you are playing against a Quinlan, probably don't, and you're going first, probably don't play this card because they will just kill it. Or a Luke who can kill this card too. There's a lot of things that kill this card, but it looks cool first of all, and its effect is crazy. If it's gonna live, if you're not playing against a leader like Quinlan or Luke or something that pings for 1, you're probably gonna get value out of this card. It says 2 resource 4/1. When this unit deals combat damage to a base, each player discards a card from their hand. So you're going to use Chopper to mill your opponent. They might be clutching 2 cards, and you say, okay, well, I don't want you to hold 2 cards. Kill 1, They might be holding good resource pieces that they need, but Chopper is going to get rid of that, or make them at least have a choice. This card's good. I just don't like it. I don't. I find that the times I've used it, it hasn't been beneficial, and then he just gets, killed or blown up or something. This card's good. Don't let me, donk on it too much. It is a good card. Am I undervaluing it? Probably. But this card's very good, and you're going to get lots of value out of it. Just play around with it. See when it works for you. It's great, honestly, in a later game. It's going to drop on 2 if you know it's going to live. But if you can drop it in the end game when they have 1 or 2 cards, much better. So that's Chopper. We're going to move straight into Han Solo, Reluctant Hero. So the 7-drop Han, he's a 6/6. Which is not a bad stat line, and he's got Ambush. Now, he has a great effect. A fantastic, or I guess ability, I should say. A fantastic ability. It says Ambush, so as soon as you play him, he may ready and may attack. That's good. That's very good. The better part of this card is, while attacking, this unit deals combat damage before the defender. Han Solo is shooting first, let me tell you. Now, what does that mean for you? It means that if you attack into a 5/5, or even like a 5/4, and you kill it, they don't get to hit you back. If you kill them, there's no damage coming back, which is fantastic. So technically, Han could clear something, and then you still have a 7 resource 6/6 on your board, which is fantastic. Great card effect. I've used it many times just to clean up and win a game, or clean up and win or hit bodies and clear their board while still leaving a Han. He might take some damage back if you can't clear, but even still, like, the ambush is good. That effect is so good. Realistically, you're probably going to just kill something with this, and it's a good card to have. Following that, we play Karis Nemik. If you're playing red, you've definitely seen this card. It's a 2 resource, 3/2 with Hidden. So Hidden means when you play it, that phase, it can't be targeted by effects or card abilities. It's decent. It's a good card. This is probably my favorite turn 1 play in Quinlan. I think it's just it's a good card. He says, you may disclose a red card. Reveal cards from your hand with these aspects among them. What does that mean? So when he dies, you can show a red card from your hand, and if you do, create a spy token and ready it. So on turn 1 of the game, you could play Karis, and if they somehow kill it, you can attack them with a spy, which, as you'll see on screen, is a 0/2 but gets raid 2. Good card. The effect is good. It's just more tempo and more value for you, because when he dies, you still get an effect. Even if they remove it with an ability, make you sacrifice it. Like, no matter what, when this card leaves, unless it's had the ability removed, you're going to get value out of it. Great card. It really goes into Quinlan because of the tempo that it provides. Next up is Sabine Wren, Explosives Artist. Now, this card is really interesting because it has multiple good effects. We're going to start with the first one. Not only is it a 2 resource, 2 attack, 3 health card, which is decent. It's quite good because it's going to live through a lot of things. She has 2 great effects. So the first is, while there are at least 3 aspects among other friendly units, this unit can't be attacked unless she gains Sentinel. And the second one is, on attack, you may deal 1 damage to a defender or a base, or to the defender or a base. Now, what's so good about this? And also, what are aspects? I'm going to answer both those questions. The first thing is, what are aspects? So they are the little marks above the card. And there's 6 of them, currently 6 in Star Wars Unlimited. The first is Aggression, which is red, Command, which is green, Cunning, which is yellow, Vigilance, which is blue, Heroism, which is white, and Villainy, which is black. All good effects, all good aspects, and they all do different things. But for the purpose of this deck, we are playing 3. We're playing Aggression, we're playing Cunning, and we're playing Heroism. There might be a few sprinkled in, but for the most part, those are the 3 that we're playing. Now, her first effect is really good, because it says, while there are at least 3 aspects among other friendly units, this can't be attacked. So if you've got units on the field that have Aggression, Cunning, and Heroism, or any combination of those, which you will, you've got a 2 resource, or 2 attack, 3 health unit that is just attacking and can't be challenged. It's good, because essentially you're creating a threat that your opponents cannot deal with unless they're using card effects or removal. But in a straight attack deck, they're going to struggle. You're also combining that with just doing 1 damage every turn to a base or a defender, which is just good. Sabine is a great card for this. If you can get the first effect online, you're going to be in a decent spot. And with the amount of cards in this deck, that should not be a hard thing to do. So Sabine, great card. I've used it in many situations to just kind of stick on my board, and it's been multiple turns before my opponent can do anything about it. If you can make this card stick, you're going to be in a very good spot. Next up, we have Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka. People go back and forth on it. I say Ahsoka Tano. Fight me on it. It's good. She's a good card. Now, Ahsoka is a 4 cost 3/5. Decent stat line. Attack could be higher, but she's still very good. And it says, when played, an opponent discards a card from their hand. If it's a unit, you may exhaust the unit. This is great because you're forcing your opponent to discard a card from their hand that they might not want to. And if it's a unit, you get to exhaust something and likely attack it with a different unit. This card's great. It's again creating tempo for you because you are forcing your opponent to lose a card that they might not want to. Now, in some instances, they go, all right, cool, here's a dead card that doesn't fit this matchup. Easy discard. In other situations, they go, wow, I have 2 cards for next turn and both are good. What do I do? Fantastic card. It sees lots of play, and it's going to be seeing lots of play. It could still jump to light speed, so after rotation, we're still going to see lots of this card. Fantastic card with a great effect. So, yay to Ahsoka. Next up, we have Depa Bilaba. That's a hard thing to say. Lots of consonants and L's in there. She is a ambush saboteur, a 6 resource, 5/7. Pretty straightforward. Now, if you don't know what ambush or saboteur is, I'll quickly break it down. Ambush, like we talked about earlier, as soon as you play it, you may ready it and attack something in the same phase. Great effect. A 5/7, also probably not going to die. You're likely killing something or putting a lot of damage on something, and you're probably going to live. Saboteur lets you skip through Sentinel. Pretty straightforward. If they've got a Sentinel unit and you want to hit their back line, if they're trying to hide behind just a Sentinel unit and you want to get in there, this is the card to do it. Go to card effect. I've gotten some use out of this. I haven't seen a ton of situations where the saboteurs come up, but the ambush is fantastic. It's just a good card to get in there, hit your opponent, and force them to deal with. So for that reason, Depa is really good. Next up is the Guerrilla Soldier. Guerrilla Soldier is a cool card. It's a 3 resource, 2 attack, 3 health card, and it says, when played, deal 3 indirect damage to a player. If a base is damaged this way, ready this unit. So again, we're creating great situations for us because our opponent is either going to ping some of their creatures, which playing against Quinlan is tough because we can also ping them. So what you want to do is you want to play this card, choose the order of your triggers. So you're gonna let them do this first. You're gonna say, okay, deal 3 indirect damage. They'll choose. If they hit their base, you can ready an attack. If they don't, and say they hit 2 different units and they put 2 damage on one and 1 damage on another, you then resolve your Quinlan effect and ping it and maybe kill it. It's really cool how you can structure this card. Great effect. They might just take it all on their base, which again is good for you because now you're attacking. The value in this card is fantastic. I see why it's played, and when stacked, when the effects are stacked correctly, very good card. We are almost at the bottom of our ground units, but rounding them out, we have the L337 Droid Revolutionary. Cool card, 2 resource, 2/2. When played, you may rescue a captured card. Already great effect. If we stopped there, still a good effect. But it says, if you don't, give a shield token to this unit, and you can smuggle him out for 4. So this card is very great in multiple situations. If you play this card to rescue a captured unit, you're removing value from your opponent because they likely committed to capturing a card last turn. And if not, you get a shield unit or shield token 2 onto L3, which is great because now you can maybe run into something that wouldn't necessarily kill you and you've weakened them or you've removed their shield, and being able to smuggle him out is just good. I actually like to smuggle this card out more than I like to play him because of rescuing that captured unit. So I like to drop him early game in the resources, depending on the matchup, always. You resource him, and then you bring him out when you need him, or you just play him in the late game and get a shield. Great card. The versatility in this card is awesome, and again, just keeps the tempo, the gameplay going. We've got the Outer Rim Constable, one of my favorite cards because it's super simple. You just defeat an upgrade. He's going to die to something. He's going to get pinged, or he's going to just get killed by a token. But you can defeat an upgrade with him, so I already love this card. It's very similar to Disabling Fang Fighter, but worse stats and cost less. And it's just good. I used it in a game. It might even be the gameplay I put on here. No, I used it in a different game, and my opponent put on a lightsaber onto their unit, and they committed a turn to do it, and I just went Outer Rim Constable. And they said, well, I'm not going to repeat what they said because it's not appropriate, but they said some choice words and then left the game because they'd committed all their eggs in one basket, and I stopped it immediately. Completely ruined their game plan, and I killed their unit after. And it was just a good. I got so much effect out of this card because you can defeat the upgrade. Now, I don't think your opponent's gonna swear and then scoop to you, but being able to defeat their upgrade when you need to is really good. And lastly, we've got Kira playing her part, and I love this card. I love this card. When played, look at an opponent's hand, then name a card. While this unit is in play, each card with that name costs 3 resources more for your opponents to play. This card has so much value, but it also requires you to know what's going on in the game. Because if you look at their hand and you see, I'll use Piet for example. If you see an Avenger, a Barrage, Overwhelming Barrage, and like a Bright Hope, you're going to have to think, okay, well, do I want to pick one of these cards, or do I want to pick a card that I haven't seen and that isn't maybe in their deck? This card is tough to play in situations like that because sometimes the answer is obvious and sometimes the answer is not obvious. And you got to think, what do I do? If you're unsure, pick a card in their hand. But if you're playing this against like a deck that you know plays a certain card like Sudden Ferocity or plays like hard removal, then you name those. It's very situational, and you have to know the game. But when you can play this card correctly and get the right card, it can really mess up your opponent's day. I used it to beat a Piet because I named a ship that wasn't in their hand, and they just couldn't play it. They didn't have it, to be fair. But when I looked at their hand and I said, these cards are what I'm going to pick, they went, uh-oh. And it was just good. That is not in the gameplay that you're going to see. I do use this card effectively in that gameplay, but what I'm referencing is a different game. This card, what I'm trying to say, it has so much value, and you're going to get value out of it. You just have to know a little bit more about the game. And that's the ground units. That's all 27 of them. If you've noticed, they're all relatively cheap. A lot of 2 cost, 3 cost, 4 costs. And then we have some higher cards. But for the most part, we're just playing cheap guys we can cheat out, or just play aggressively, Play them aggressively and continue tempo on the board. Now we've got some really good space units in here. We've got Red 5 running the trench. If you watch my Red Luke videos, or you're about to, you'll know that this card is great. It's a 3 resource, 3/4, and it goes so well into Quinlan because it says, on attack, you may deal 2 damage to a damaged unit. With Quinlan, you're going to ping that unit. Ideally, your opponent plays a unit first, and you go, okay, you play the Red 5, and you ping one of their units. Fantastic card. You can do it again on turn 3 of the game, play a unit, ping it, and then attack to clear it, or attack their base, or attack a defender, and then clear a separate unit with Red 5. Being able to just pick where the damage goes is so beneficial, and it fits really well into Quinlan for that reason. Next up, we have the Millennium Falcon Piece of Junk. A great card, expensive card, but a good card. It says, when this unit enters play ready. Already great. When you ready cards during your regroup phase, either pay 1 resource or return this unit to its owner's hand. Now, you're going to have to pick what you want to do. Sometimes you'll attack with this card, and your opponent will swing back and hit it for 2 damage, and then you'll go to the next turn. You might pick it up. You might say, I'll just pay the resource. It's going to depend on what the board state looks like and what you're planning to do on that turn. Also, what you're playing against. But there's many situations where I'll play this card, and then I'll attack, they'll almost kill it, and I'll just bring it back to my hand, which is very beneficial. Because essentially you're saying, hello opponent, you have to clear this card right now, or I'm going to just pick it up and play it again. And if they can only damage it and let you pick it up, then they've lost so much value, because that damage could be on your base. They are essentially behind, potentially, on base damage, because they wasted it hitting Falcon. It's very interesting, very good card, and when you can make plays like that happen, it's very good. Admittedly, it feels bad when you jam it, attack, and then they kill it right away, but it served its purpose. So great card, and I see why it's expensive. Secondly, we have the N1 Starfighter. This is a 2 resource, 3/2 vanilla. This could be used as resource fodder if you want, or you can use it to just clear out some space units. I usually just resource this, even though it looks really pretty. It fits in situations, but essentially resource bait if you need to use it. There's not much to it. It can be useful in air battles, but probably resource bait. And lastly, we have Millennium Falcon Lando's Bride. Now this card is pretty cool. It says, if you play this unit from your hand, it gains ambush, and you can smuggle it out for 6. Great. Okay. Not much to it. You can play it for 6 resource 5/5, or you can smuggle for 6. I like the ambush with this card. The 5/5 stat line is okay, because chances are if you're playing it on 6, you're going to get killed when you swing into it. You might kill a smaller unit, but more often than not, you're going to ambush this out to kill a bigger unit. Either way, though, even if you're playing it from smuggle or from the hand, it's just a good card to have on the field and a good card to attack with. We've got a few events and then a few upgrades. So the first event, Daring Raid. If you've, again, watched my Luke videos, this will be no surprise. It's pretty good in Quinlan because it just, sets up 2 damage. So you deal 2 damage to a unit or a base. Chances are you've already pinged that unit with Quinlan or with Red 5. So there's multiple ways to do this, or you're just clearing something. It's a great card. There's not a lot to say about it. You're going to use it in multiple situations, and being able to deal 2 damage to a unit or a base, especially in this deck, is very good. I've won many games off of Daring Raid. We've got Spark of Rebellion. Love this card again. Look at your opponent's hand and discard a card from it. So again, this gives you not only valuable information on what your opponent's got in their hand. If they're clutching 1 or 2 cards, you might just say, okay, discard one. Or I'll pick one. I'll look at it and I'll discard it. You can combo this with Chopper and clear their entire hand. Like, there's many situations where this card comes up. It's very good. Sometimes the payoff isn't worth it and you get, 2 cards that aren't really great, or 4 cards that, don't do much, but when you hit the key piece they need, it feels really good. We've got Bamboozle. It says you may discard a Heroism, I believe it's Heroism, from your hand instead of paying this event cost, which is already great. And it says exhaust a unit and return each upgrade on it to its owner's hand. Great. Good card. If an opponent is stacking resources on 1 unit, this is the card you're going to want. You're going to want to say, okay, cool, I'm just going to exhaust it, and then you lose experience token, shield token, blasters, lightsabers, whatever it is. It's just good. It's just really good at removing all that value that they've committed to their creature or to the unit. When you can make this work, it's great. If you're not playing against a deck that's resource or that's upgrade heavy, potentially put it in the resources, but overall it's got a lot of value in it because it sets your opponent back while potentially setting you forward. Our last event is 2 Surprise Strikes. Love this card. I actually used it to win a game very recently. It just says attack with the unit and it gets +3/+0 for this attack. It can be great at closing out the game. It can be great at killing units. It can be great in many situations. It's pretty straightforward in the way you use it, but the situations that you can have it come up in are very, very varied and very good. Lastly, our upgrades, the only upgrades in the deck are a red staple, the Hotshot DL44 Blaster. So you attach it to a non-vehicle unit, and if you can do that for 1, or if you smuggle it out for 3, which is probably what you're going to be doing more often, you can attack with the attached unit. So you can put that on very specific units, ground units, and then attack with them. Lots of value you can get out of there. Lots of different units to attack with, and just getting +2/+0 is very good. You also might get some extra effects off if you've got effects in your card. Kind of depends where you stick the card, where you stick Blaster, but yeah, very good card. More often than not, you're going to want to smuggle it out. Sometimes you'll just play it for 1, but smuggling it feels very good. And that's it. We just have to go to the sideboard, and that's the whole deck. So we've got 3 copies of Spare the Target. It says, return an enemy non-leader unit to its owner's hand. Collect that unit's bounties. Cool card. You're going to use this against some decks. They might not have a bounty, but just returning an enemy non-leader unit to their hand is very good. Especially if they cheated it out using like Pyatt, or they've used certain effects like plot. Like if they plot out a Sin to Kaz and you just go, return it to their hand. Well, now they've lost their board space. So it's interesting when it comes up, and you'll get lots of use out of it for sure. We've got 2 copies of Blue Ace Colorful Racer. Not only is this card beautiful, it's got Ambush, and it's a 4/5. It says on attack, ready an exhausted enemy unit. So this is really cool. There may be situations when you want an exhausted enemy unit to come up. There may be situations when you don't want that. But the 4/5 stat line with the Ambush is really cool. I personally haven't used this card, but I can understand where it will be impactful in situations. We've got 2 Pillage, which just say choose a player, they discard 2 cards from their hand. Again, more discard heavy. If your opponent is wanting to hold cards in their hand and your job is to disrupt them, this is the card to do it with. They got to discard 2 cards. Yes, you're committing 4 resources to it, but they're discarding 2 cards, and that might be their entire hand. Very situational, but it's good. It's very, very good. I shouldn't say situational, sorry. What I should say is there's going to be situations where it's very good and where it's very impactful. So Pillage, it's a great card. You've got 1 Millennium Falcon, piece of junk. We've already talked about this card. It's in the sideboard. It's great. You could put a second copy in, and just, again, if your opponent's going to struggle to kill it, and they're going to slowly chip away at it, you just bring it back and attack again. It's a great card. We've got another Kira. I love this card. I could go on about this card forever. I've already said a lot about her, so we're going to just back out of this one, but a fantastic card. And then we've got 1 Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn, the negotiations will be short. He's a 7 resource 7/5 with ambush, and it says when defeated, you may choose a non-leader ground unit. Its owner puts it on the top or bottom of their deck. It is great because no matter what, you're gonna hopefully kill something with 7 attack, and then if Qui-Gon dies, you get to bounce a unit that may be very impactful. It could be their only unit. It could be a Sentinel unit that's stopping you from winning game. It could be a lot of different things. But this card is good because it's got 7 attack, and the effect is fantastic. We only play 1 on the sideboard, but it's very good nonetheless. And that's Quinlan Vos. That's the whole deck. I love this deck a lot. Like I said, if it wasn't rotating in 3 months, I'd be more opportune to buy it. But it is unfortunately rotating. So do with that as you will. I still recommend it because it's a great deck for someone that just wants to play for a few months and get a feel of the game. This is a great deck to start with. If you're trying to get into the game long term, maybe not the best deck to start with. But we have rotations in March. We have about 3 months as of recording this until it rotates. The other deck that is very similar to this is Cad Bane Tarkin Town, which I don't showcase in this video because I think Quinlan's better. I think Quinlan is just a better Tarkin Town deck. If you're interested in that, let me know. I can make a video on it. But I think that Quinlan, if you're playing like a yellow-red Tarkin Town deck, Quinlan's the place to be. Okay, before I get into the gameplay, I just want to talk about the cost of the deck really quick. So Quinlan is going to be the most expensive of the 3 decks you're going to see today, and there's a reason for that. Karis Nemik is about $40 for 3 copies, and the Millennium Falcon piece of junk is $58 for the 2 copies in the main board, or the main deck, and then $20 for 1 of the copies in the sideboard. Alone, those cards almost make $100. It's worth the investment. These cards are very good. Hotshot Blaster, also very good. The deck is good for a reason, but that comes with a cost. A lot of the cards in this deck are cheap. $1, 30 cents, $2, $8 for Chopper altogether. The only problem is with some of these cards, they are going to rotate, such as Quinlan. He's going to rotate soon. So if you want to get into this deck, I recommend it highly for its playability. Just be warned that you might only get a few months out of some of these cards. Otherwise, you're looking at $170 for the entire deck all in, or $143 just for the main board. It's a good deck. I love it. And here's the gameplay to demonstrate why. While I was editing this video, I realized I forgot to talk about a card that I almost played twice in this gameplay clip, and that is Plo Koon Kota Ya. This is a 5 resource 3/6 with ambush, and it has the unique ability that says Raid 3. Gain this keyword while you control 3 or more units. This unit gets +3/+0 while attacking. This card is great, and I actually use it well in the gameplay. It can go and be a 6/6 if you've got your board set up. It's great at clearing targets. It's great at just surprising and knocking at something or trading into a unit that is beneficial for you. There's a lot of value in this card, and I don't know how I forgot to talk about it in the deck breakdown. But Plo Koon, great card. Fantastic addition to the deck. And like I said, I almost played it twice in the gameplay. So yeah, here's the gameplay. I'm going to give a disclaimer and say that on editing it back, I realized there's a lot of mistakes that I made that I would go back and fix to play it again. But overall, this gameplay is very good. It demonstrates the deck, and I hope you enjoy it. And welcome back to the gameplay part of the video. I've explained what the cards do. I've explained how to use Quinlan to the best of my abilities. And now we're going to get right into the gameplay. We'll see who we're playing against.
Hello there.
We're against Thrawn. Okay. This could be tough. We'll have to see. The name of the game here is Aggressive Tempo. For anyone that doesn't know, tempo means keeping the pace of play. So on turn 3, you're playing a 3-drop. On 4, you're playing a 4-drop. 5, etc. And they're going to be impactful. And they're going to swing momentum out of the game for you. So let's see here. I actually don't like this. Actually. And our opponent has the initiative. Maybe I do keep this, actually. We got some decent... I'll draw this out. I'll keep this out. We're going to get rid of surprise attack, and we'll get rid of starfighter. Let's see what they do. Especially with Quinlan, you want to go tempo, because we get to go LC-37. We're going to get a shield token onto him, and then we're going to trigger Quinlan to ping this and remove the shield. It's not bad. We're definitely going to put the blaster down. Karis, also good. You want to give your opponent the initiative because you want to see what they're going to do. Until later in the game when you want to swap and take the initiative for yourself. Especially in the early game, you want them to have the initiative because you can counter their plays with your Quinlan ping. So they're going to play a 2-drop, which means a 2-drop for us isn't terrible. So we could ping down Karis. I don't hate doing that, though. For the tempo play, I think I'm just going to go ahead and keep red 5. We'll trigger red 5. Oh yeah, there's no 3-drop for our opponent to hit. Yeah, there's nothing for us to do anything with. We're going to swing into Crystal Caves here. And you'll see why in a minute. They're going to play a 2-drop. I think we're going to claim here. Here we'll claim. Okay. We're going to put another blaster down. Though we could play the blaster now, actually. We could just... I like the idea of smuggling both out. So we could go Karis into the blaster. We could also go blaster into Karis. But that'll kill our LC-37. So I think we just go at their face. I'll start with the face attack. We'll see. We're still looking to have the shielded unit. So they're taking out our shield. That's fine. We're gonna play Karis, but then I can't smuggle out. But I think I go... That's interesting. I think I'm gonna... I'm gonna play Karis. I will trigger and I'll ping... Krenchik. Krennic. They're gonna kill, yeah, at the base. I don't know why my taskbar keeps popping up. That's slightly annoying. You're gonna notice this deck has a lot of ambush, a lot of aggressive cards. They're gonna play Chirrut. Okay, so this is fine. I'm actually just gonna claim here because now we can drop the Starfighter. And then we can just attack with Plo Koon right off the bat and kill Chirrut. So we'll go Plo Koon. I don't have I don't have the exhaust, so we're gonna trigger. And we're gonna attack here. I have nothing to ping, so I'll pass that. I actually could have deployed Quinlan first to get my ping off. That was probably the correct thing to do. Actually, it was definitely the correct thing to do. But now let's see what Thrawn does. Because I have the ping with red 5, which is cool. I also have Tarkin Town, which is nice too. I still haven't used it. So he goes here. So I go red 5 at the base and ping. Don't know why I want to deal 2 damage to myself. That would make no sense. Next turn we can go Millennium Falcon. We can ambush it if we need to. We can also smuggle it out later. Disclose aggression. And I will disclose Karis. There's my spy token. It's actually beneficial for me to just I don't really care about the Karis because I can kill it next turn if I feel like it. I'm going to play Tyrannus with the shield. That's fine. And they killed my Plo Koon. Yeah, okay. Now I deploy Quinlan. I'm going to attack. They're likely going to kill Quinlan. I think now I should target down this. Because they can give me a -2 with the phase, which is fine. But it doesn't super affect me. They're going to do it, and they're going to kill Spy. Okay, that's fine. Interesting. I think I'm going to drop the... I do love Kira. Great disruption card. I'm going to drop the Chopper because I don't like this card. I know it's very impactful and it's a very good card. I just don't like it, personally. It doesn't defeat an upgrade, so I don't care. It's a little joke for people that watch the rest of my videos. Or have made it this far in the video. This deck reminds me a lot of Tempo Mage, another Hearthstone reference, if anyone played that. Okay, so we got no glory, only results. That's fine. I think here we're just going to go Quinlan into the base. It reminds me of Tempo Mage because the name of the game of Tempo Mage in Hearthstone was just attacking, and doing everything you could to keep it going, to keep your tempo going for the game. I liked it a lot. We'll go Kira. We're going to look at their hand. They can't get Avenger out next turn. They can't get Snoke out next turn. I think I'm actually just going to go with this one, with Power of the Dark Side. Power of the Dark Side. Also, as I've been editing these videos, I've noticed I hear key clicks in the background, and I hear other noises, so I'm going to try and upgrade my system, or like the way I have my microphone set up, so I don't have to keep doing that. So there's no extra noise for people. Because that could be annoying. We're going to claim here. Because I could smuggle Blaster and kill if I really feel like it. I can also just Plo Koon. Let's see. Do I want to do that? I can smuggle Blaster out and push their base. Let's see. If I go 8. I do actually have it. 6. I'm going to drop the Falcon. I think I'm just going to try and go for base here. Go with the base. Are we going to get the game here? This is a great representation of what Quinlan can do. You can go a lot faster. When I play against my friends at locals, they go a lot faster. They just kill me, and it's not fun. Ping here, and that's the game. That's it. That's Quinlan Vos in a nutshell. There's a lot more, I'll say GG even though they left. There's a lot more routes you can take and like different actions you could do. We could have smuggled out again. We could have also played smuggled out the Andor earlier if I'd felt like it. There's lots of different scenarios that we could do. One game really isn't enough to show Quinlan in its full potential. So I might have to do another video on Quinlan. But that's kind of it. You just tempo. You just keep it going. Every turn I used all my resources to keep power and keep pressure on the board. And that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Keep the pressure up, make it hard for your opponent to deal with things, and disrupt when possible. This card here with the Kira was super impactful to stop Power of the Dark Side. I'm going to hazard a guess and say that's actually why we were able to continue in the late game, because they couldn't remove our cards. Let's see, can I go back to look at their hand here? Karis. No, I can't see their hand. But they had like Avenger, Power of the Dark Side, a bunch of cards that were going to be good in 2 turns, but not enough to get me this turn without Power of the Dark Side. So very good, very impactful. Yeah, and that's Quinlan. So thank you for watching this part of the video. I'm going to go into Red Luke next, and I will see you in that video. All right, we are back with the Red Luke deck breakdown. We are using the same list that I've been using for about the last month, and it's the 4th place list played by Solarisphere on December 6th. It's the list I used in my first video against Blue Lando. Great list. Shout out to that player. Not my list, but phenomenal list. And it's just very clean
and very, very reliable and competitive. So off the bat, we have Red Luke, the man himself. As you've seen in the gameplay, he's got the ability Action. If you attacked with a fighter unit this phase, deal 1 damage to a unit. This is great because a lot of our ships are fighter units, so we're going to be attacking anyway. And then we get a specific, an extra little 1 damage ping somewhere, which is great when you combo with Red 5, because Red 5 says, hey, when you attack, you can do damage to the board. So it's great if you can pre-damage something and then hit them with loot or hit them with Red 5. Great little combo. We'll get into that when we get to Red 5. But Luke is great, and his flip over ability is even better. So Luke deploys on 6, and he says, he gives if you deploy him as a unit, he's a 6/5 or 5/6, sorry. And if you deploy him as a pilot, he gives your ship +4/+5, and the unit can't be defeated by enemy card abilities, and they're a leader unit. There's so many great layers to this card, because the wording of this upgrade can't be defeated by enemy card abilities, already great. Can't be removed by removal, can't be hit by upgrade removal. It just gives you so much power to work with. And then it says, attached unit is a leader unit. If it's a fighter, it gains on attack, you may deal 3 damage to a unit. Again, great ability. You can combo that with Red 5 running the trench, or you can put it on a different ship, and you can just really start hammering down your opponent's units by pinging them repeatedly each turn. Fantastic leader. I'm opening up a box of Jump to Light Speed in a few weeks, and I really want to get the alternate art of Luke. It's beautiful. It looks like this. Nope, it looks like this. This one here. Oh, I want this so bad. Maybe I'll get lucky and pull it. That video will be on the channel. All right, moving on, we'll go to the base. So we've got Data Vault. It's 33 health, green base. We're playing red-green, and it's just good because we're trying to go fast and we're trying to hit hard, but we also want the extra health. So the minimum deck size being increased by 10 is good. Having the extra health is amazing, extra cards is good, and it really just fits well in the deck. You can also play Energy Conversion Lab. I don't like it as much. It does well because you can cheat out units, but I prefer Data Vault, and that's what Slayer Sphere used in their list, so that's what we're playing. All right, we're going to start with Captain Typho, and this card's funny because to buy one of them here in Canada was $7, or you could buy the Padme Amidala deck from Secrets of Power for about $28 to $30 and get 3 of this card plus extras. So that's what I did. I bought the deck and I got my Captain Typhos, and it's just a great card. It says resources 4 or resource cost 4. It's a 4/5, and it says Sentinel. When this unit is attacked, you may disclose command heroism. If you do, heal 1 damage from your base. The healing is fine. It's the Sentinel we want, because while we're playing some ground units, we mostly are a space deck. So being able to slow down our opponent with Sentinel is really good for us. Against aggro decks, ground aggro decks, this is really good. Against Vader, resources card. You're not going to use it. But otherwise, it's a phenomenal card. It's really good. The Sentinel blocker is nice, and it just helps us stabilize a bit more in the early game. All right, up next is Chewbacca, Faithful First Mate. Everyone's favorite pilot, and we're going to put on the best art, the weekly play. This says, this unit can't be defeated or returned to the hand by enemy card abilities. This is a great card on turn 2 if you're not going wide. It's a 5 resource 5/6 pilot unit, or it's a 3 resource 3/3 pilot. This is great if you are going and just going aggressive and not trying to go wide. If your goal is to go tall and just play like Phoenix Squadron A-Wing and then drop Chewbacca, not the worst idea, because it can't be defeated by enemy card abilities. So removal, upgrade destroyers, not going to work. It's a really good unit when you're just trying to get aggressive fast and early and make your opponent deal with you. Now, against Vader, for example, or a space heavy deck, it might not be incredible, especially if they're going wide. The benefit to Chewbacca is that he can go and make your units really big and really tall and powerful. If you're playing against something that's wider, it's not as good because they're just going to outpace you. But he's a phenomenal, there we go, unit to use when you are trying to get powerful in the early game. Next, we have Sintikaz, one of my favorite new cards in the deck. This card's from Secrets of Power, and it's a 6 resource 5/5. I love this card because it has plot. So it says when played, you may attack with a unit. Already good, already awesome, but it has plot. So when you deploy your leader, you can pay the resource cost if she's in your resources and play her for 6. So what's awesome here is when you deploy Luke on something as a pilot on a ship, you plot out Cinta and then you just attack with Luke. It is great. It is so good, especially if your opponent has damaged units, because then you can go and you can hit them for like 2 damage or 3 damage and then ping them with Luke, and there's just so much value in this card. Cinta is such a good card and was really cheap. Phenomenal card. Gotta stop saying that because I'm gonna keep messing the word up, but it's a great card all around. Next up, we have another great plot card, and that's Cassian Andor. Rebellions are built on hope. Another card from Shadows of the Galaxy. It's great. He just says 3 resource, 3/5, but smuggle for 5. When he's played using smuggle, ready him. I commonly will just play Cassian at a smuggle. Now, you can also play him as a regular unit, but being able to smuggle him out is so good, especially if it's a surprise to your opponent. They might get what you're doing. I would assume that a lot of players are going to assume that you have one Cassian put in your resources. But if you can surprise them with 1, 2, 3, it's so good. This card is really good. It helps with aggressive plays right away because you can smuggle him out and then attack with him almost immediately. Great card. Big fan of it. And I think it's unfortunate that we're going to lose it to rotation in a few months. But it's been good in Red Luke. Even if you don't smuggle it, it's just a good 3/3/5, which is good. Next up, we have Cham Syndulla. This card's cool. I don't actually get a lot of value out of this card, but when I do, it's great. So he says 4 resource, 5/4, and when played, if your opponent controls more resources than you may put the top card of your deck into play as a resource. Now this is great against like Pyatt or other ramp heavy decks because you can keep pace with them. So you can play Cham on 4, so turn 2, turn 3, turn 3. You can play Cham on turn 3, and then if they're ramping, you can just catch up to them, or at least get ahead on board. In scenarios like that, he's great. Otherwise, he's not my favorite card to play. He's kind of essentially, if you're not using the effect, he's just a vanilla 4 resource 5/4, which is still good. But there's other cards I would rather play on 4. Otherwise, Cham is good. He's good when you need him. He's really good. Next up is Kelleran Beck. Now this card I feel like is everywhere. This card is so good. It's in so many different decks, and it's a 7 resource 7/7 that says, when played, search the top 7 cards of your deck for a unit, reveal it, and play it. It costs 3 resources less. So in Luke, it's good because we're going to try and find a very cheap ship. We're going to try and find cheap things to play out. We're going to try and find, just low-cost ships to try to cheat out. It's just good. We get to search our deck. It's 7/7 stat line is good. On 7 resources isn't amazing. It'd be better if it was 6 or 5, but then this card would be broken. So he's balanced. He's good, and the effect is good. We just get to search our deck and see what we can find. We have so many cheap ships that we can play that it's just so beneficial for us. And that is the ground units. We're gonna move into the space units, which really is the meat of the deck, and we'll just keep going down the list. We've got Anakin's Interceptor. Now, this is a 2 resource 2/3, and it has the cool effect of when your base has 15 or more damage, it gets +2/+0. Weirdly enough, I don't use this card that much. This is a card you could grab off Kelleran Beck in the end game, and now you've got a free 4/3, which is great. That's beneficial. But I end up resourcing this card a lot. Now, maybe that's not right. Again, it's matchup dependent. It's a good card. It's good in the end game. In the early game, it's just a 2 resource 2/3. Like if you play it in turn 1, it's still a 2/2/3. So that's good. But yeah, it's fine when you need it. I probably undervalue this card a little bit, but it's not my favorite. But it does fit well into the deck, and it's great when you pull it off Kelleran, and then have a 4/3. So yeah, I can't complain with that. Next up is Black 1, straight at them. Again, another interesting card because it says, when the unit is upgraded, it gets +1/+0, and on attack, if you control Poe Dameron, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. Now, we don't control Poe Dameron. We don't have any Poe Damerons in the deck anymore, we cut them. So it's really used for the early game pressure of 2/2/3, and the upgrade, which is nice. If you put a Luke on this, now you've got, what is that, 5, you've got like a 6/7, I think 7. I don't want to. You have a powerful resource that's pinging things, and gets an extra +1, so that's cool. You can Chewbacca this to make it a 5/6, which is nice. Yeah, no, it's good. I use this card occasionally. It's just good as a cheap fighter to flood out the board. But in the turn 1, there's probably better cards to play. But this art's incredible, and the card is good. When you get the +1/+0 upgrade, it's a great card. We've got Blue Leader, Scarif Air Support. Everyone knows this card. It's an incredible ship, and one of the ships you're probably going to play the most of. I don't rarely play this on 3 unless I'm trying to go hyper aggressive or clear a threat. But it's a 3 resource 3/3, and it says it has ambush. So when you play it, you may attack an enemy unit. And it says when played, you may pay 2 resources. So you're essentially playing this on 5. And if you do, move this unit to the ground arena and give 2 experience tokens to it. Now, that effect is awesome. Being able to cheat out, well, not cheat out, I guess, but being able to get a 5 resource 5/5 with ambush is a great tool in Luke, because sometimes you have to just clear one big ground unit. Being able to do that with Blue Leader is good. The 3 resource 3/3 ambush is still good because you can clear a unit, but being able to shift it over to the ground arena is so much better. So great card. Probably want to play it on 5, but even when you don't, you're still going to get value out of it, and it's still a good card. Next up is the Disabling Fang Fighter. If you watched my first video, you know that I love this card. I love Fang Fighter for the simple reason that it says you may defeat an upgrade, and I love defeating upgrades. You can get rid of lightsabers, you can get rid of specific leaders, you can get rid of different equipments. Like, there's just so many good upgrades to hit. It doesn't work on Chewbacca or Luke, but there's so many good ones to hit. It's a 3 resource 3/2. You're probably only playing it to defeat the upgrade. Unless you're trying to close out the game or get aggressive in the early game, you might play this on 3 just to body something, but it's got 2 health, so it dies to a lot of things, or just like double a Cad Bane ping. So it's not great in that regard, but when you use it to defeat an upgrade, oh, you feel powerful. Great card, one of my favorite because you defeat an upgrade. Next up, Green Squadron A-Wing. This is actually my favorite turn 1 play. I love this card on turn 1. I have these cool red ones, and I think they're awesome. And it's a 2 resource 1/3 with raid 2. So essentially, when you attack, it becomes a 3/3 for 2. I love that. It's just a great little tool in Luke to get going. You play it on turn 1, turn 2, you're attacking, so you're hitting them for 3, and then you're paying something for 1 with Luke's ability. Not much to it. It's just good. My favorite turn 1 play. Love to have it, and it's more often than not you'll want to start this card and just start hitting right away. The raid 2 is nice, and there's not much to it, but it's just a great little card. Next up is the Phoenix Squadron A-Wing. Now, it's a 2 resource 3/2 vanilla. Not much to say with this one. It is mostly used as resource bait. That's when I use it. It can be good, but again, the 2 health isn't great because it dies to a lot of things. It dies to like a one attacker plus a ping. Like, there's so much that kill it. But sometimes you just need 3 damage, so it's not bad. I do find you'll resource this card a lot. But yeah, not much to say with that one. Red 5, Run of the Trench. One of the best cards in the deck, and this is what I was talking about with Luke. So Red 5, it says, on attack, you may deal 2 damage to a damaged unit. This is great, especially if you play this on turn 2 of the game, because you probably have Phoenix Squadron out, or maybe you have Phoenix Squadron, like you have some sort of low drop card, and then you play this, and then on turn 3, you're attacking, pinging, doing more damage. Like, there's so much value in this card. If it sticks around, you can probably clear something because you're going to attack, and then you're going to Luke ping, and then you're going to kill this, or kill with this. Like, there's just so much value out of it. Being able to do 2 damage to any damage unit is really good. I've used this to clear leaders. I've put Luke on this to do 5 damage and clear like big threats. Like, it's so good. Red 5, definitely a good card. I don't have the weekly plays yet, but I do want them really bad. They're just a little expensive for a card I don't need. But wow, they're nice. All right. Going down the space units again, we have Resistance Blue Squadron, a great card. This card says, when played, you may deal damage to a unit equal to the number of friendly space units. It's a 4 resource 3/4. The ability is great. If you can have like a medium-sized board or a large-sized board, and then just play this, you can at least probably clear something, or do at the very least do damage to it. You could do like 3 or 4 damage and then attack with a Luke out ship, like it's, or a Chewbacca ship. Like there's so many potentials with this. Great to just deal damage. Sometimes you will just clear things. I find that I'm clearing ground units a lot if I am losing that arena or that lane, and we'll just keep going from there. Like it's very good in that regard. Fun little ship, and on 4 it's not bad. A 3/4 body is okay. It's gonna live through a lot, and it does like decent damage, so not bad there. But even if you're just doing like 2 damage, still a good card to use. Love Resistance Blue Squadron. All right, next up we have Sabine's Masterpiece, Crazy Colorful. Now, this is a cool card for me because when I was getting into the game, I didn't want to spend too much. So I built Red Luke, and I said, oh, I need a Sabine's. At the time, I only needed 1 to play in my list. So I went to my store that I usually go to, and I picked up 4 packs. And I was chatting with the owner who I'm friends with, or I picked up 3 packs. And I was chatting with the owner that I'm friends with. And he's like, okay, well, I'll buy 1, so you have 4. And I said, okay. So I opened my 3 and I didn't get a Sabine's, and then he opened his 1 pack and got the Sabine for me. I said, oh, thank you. And he just gave it to me. He didn't sell it to me. He just gave me the card to complete my deck, which was awesome. And then I recently picked up 2 to have 3 because the card's just so good, and I think it's going to see play post-rotation, which will bring it up in price. But right now, it's a decently priced card, and it's very good. It's a 3 resource, 3/3, and it says, on attack, if you control a Vigilante unit, heal 2 damage from a base. If you control a command unit, give experience token to a unit. If you control an aggression unit, deal 1 damage to a unit or base. And if you control a cunning unit, exhaust a ready resource. This card is so versatile and can go in so many decks. The best part about it is that it's versatile. So we're probably going to only get 2, actually you're only going to get 2 bullet points out of this. You can get the red one, you can get the aggression bullet point, and you can do deal 1 damage to a unit or base, or you can get the command one, and it says give experience token to a unit. Both are good. I usually will ping something, but giving experience token to a unit is also nice. If you just need to buff up a body, keep it alive, also good. But yeah, you can play this on 3 if you want to deal extra damage or give experience tokens. You can play this in the end game to close out a game. Just ping them for 1. Like there's so much versatility with this card. Great card, and it's going to see play post-rotation, more play post-rotation, because of how good it is. Our second to last space unit is a Kit Fisto's Aether Sprite. Cool card, it's a 5 resource, 4/5 with Saboteur, and says when played, you may defeat any number of upgrades on a unit. Great for that reason. Saboteur is nice because it gets around our Sentinel, but also just being able to defeat units. So if they've got a unit with multiple experience tokens on it, or multiple upgrades, this is great for that. You just go pop and kill them. A lot of the time I don't actually play this card. I use it as resource bait, but against certain decks it's very powerful, very good. Again, matchup dependent, but it's going to be a good card, and having Saboteur, especially in the end game, is very good. Great card. When you use it, it'll be good. And our last ship is Red Squadron Y-Wing. I have the weekly plays for this one because they're awesome. It's a 2 resource, 1/3, and says on attack, deal 3 indirect damage to the defending player. Now this is my second favorite turn 1 play. As you play this, it's a 1/3. It's hard to kill on turn 1 of the game because of the 3 health. Darkentown could probably kill this, and they will. Darkentown will kill this ship, but Darkentown will also kill whatever you have. So it's not too heavy we don't want to weigh into that too much, but this is good because on turn 2 of the game, you resource, and then you probably attack with this right away, assuming you have the initiative, and you see where your opponent puts damage. Because 1, they could stack it on their base, or 2, they could put it on some units. If they do that, this card's a fighter. You can ping the unit with Luke for 1 and maybe clear it, or at least add more damage to it. There's so much value in this because of where your opponent places damage. Now, if we were assigning the damage, card would be broken. It's not that good, but it's very good as a turn 1 play. I love this as turn 1. I love Phoenix Squadron as turn 1. Or sorry, Green Squadron, not Phoenix Squadron. And yeah, both good cards. In the right matchup, this is actually a better turn 1 play. Kind of depends, but you'll get a lot of value out of this card, especially if you put Chewbacca on it or Luke. You get more value. It's a good card. Next, we are into the events. So we've got a bunch of events and some upgrades, and then the sideboard. So we've got events, aggressive negotiations. Attack with a unit. For this attack, it gets +1/+0 for each card in your hand. Great, really at any point in the game. I've used this to close out games because I just have a 7-card hand, and I go, cool, attack your base for 6 damage plus 7 for 13. Yep, it's just good. There's not much to it. You can use it as a late game bomb. You can use it in the mid game to clear things. Like there's a lot of value you can use this card. I try to not resource it too much, but when I do use it, it's great. We've got air superiority. You're going to get a lot of value to this one. It says if you control more space units than an opponent, deal 4 damage to a ground unit that an opponent controls. Now, if you're playing against a ground heavy deck, you'll get value out of this because you'll stack up your space side and then hopefully use this to control the ground side. I've used it against like Luke's. I've used it against Cad Bane's, like just different ground decks to try and clear them out and slow them down. And it's very good at that. That's what it's supposed to do, and it's good. Especially if you can clear the unit entirely. And now they're behind and you still have your space units. Very good removal card. It's going to be your heavy removal card. One of the only ones you play, but it's good. The second removal card we play is Daring Raid. Everyone knows this card. It's just deal 2 damage to a unit or base. Not much to it. You can use this in the end game to win games. I've done that many times. You can use it to clear units. There's just a lot of value in this, especially for one. For one resource, this is a crazy good card. We've got Stay on Target. Another fun one. I actually use this one very commonly in the mid game. It says attack with a vehicle unit, specifically a vehicle unit, and for this attack, it gets +2/+0 and gains. When this unit deals damage to a base, draw a card. Simple. You could use it on turn 2 of the game, if you felt like it, to hit Phoenix Squadron A-Wing. So you go raid 2 plus this, that's now 5, and draw a card. It's pretty good. There's a lot of scenarios you can use this, but yeah, really you're just using it to buff and attack, and the card draw is an extra benefit. So it's great. You'll get a lot of use out of this, and probably the upgrade the event I use the most. We've got one more. We've got Open Fire. 3 resource, deal 4 damage to a unit. It's clean, it's easy. Use this as your removal. It's your other heavy removal. You just clean something up. You go blow up a ground unit if you need to, finish off a space unit, kill a leader. There's lots of things you can do with this. If you're playing red or green, actually, if you're just playing the game at all, you've seen this card. It's very good. We're going to lose it to rotation soon, but yeah, very good card. And yeah, 4 damage is never a bad thing. We've got 3 upgrades, and they're all sudden frosty. Now, if you're playing red, you've seen this card. It's a plot card, so you are definitely going to resource this. Actually, I shouldn't say definitely. You can resource this, and it's a 3 resource +3. When you plot out Luke, you can just deploy it. You can, bring this with it. Now, it's interesting because you could, if you deploy Luke on 6, you could play 2 of them for, all your resources. The problem why I say is maybe it's not an immediate play is because while it's really good, Cinta is also really good. So you have to kind of decide, do I want the damage buff or do I want the immediate attack with Cinta? Some games I've gone deploy Luke on 6, plot out Cinta, win for game. Some games I've gone deploy Luke on 6, play 2 Frosties, my next turn or my next cycle, I just smack. It's dependent on if you have them, first of all, and what you've been able to resource and what you're playing against. Now, you can play this also just on 3. Truly, I never have. I always plot this out, or I use Cinta. You have to kind of decide what you're doing, but phenomenal. I gotta stop saying that word. It's a great card for that reason. Great card, and yeah, you'll get a lot of value out of this. And lastly, we're going into the sideboard. So we've got 2 copies of Dismantle the Conspiracy. A friendly unit captures any number of non-enemy non-leader units with a total of 7 HP or less remaining. This is interesting. There's a lot of words on it. It costs 6. It's a green event. And let's read it again. A friendly unit captures any number of enemy non-leader units with a total of 7 or less remaining HP. It's good. If you are behind on board, it's very good. Against Vader, you're going to want to use this card. This is a very good Vader card to just grab a lot of their space units and say, these are mine. These are mine. And then now you're going to protect that ship. But if you can slow down like a wide aggro deck with this, you're going to be in a good space. Especially because Vader has a lot of like 1 health, 2 health guys. So this card can be very good in that scenario. It's just good in any scenario, really, if you got to capture a big ship or like a mid-sized unit. But against aggro, this card will be your friend for sure. We've got 2 copies of Eager Escort Fighter. It's a 3 resource 4/1 with ambush. Not a lot to it. This is your kamikaze pilot. It's dying. When you play it, you can attack an enemy unit. It's gonna die, but hopefully you're taking something with it. Hopefully you're clearing out something on their board, or you're removing like a sentinel unit. You'll get value out of this. I used to main deck this, but now it's just on the board, and I like it more in the board. We've got 2 home ones. I don't have this card because it's very expensive and it's about to rotate, but it's good. If you have it, put it in the board. If you don't buy it. I think you have until like March before it rotates. And while it's good, I think they're like $20 each. Or $8 each, whatever it is. It's expensive and it rotates soon, so I wouldn't recommend buying it. But it is a good card. It's an 8 resource 7/7, and it says restore 2. Each other friendly unit gains restore 1. When played, play a heroism unit from your discard pile. It costs 3 resources less. It's good. You can cheat out a ship, like a cheap ship. You can give all your ships restore. It's good. But because it rotates soon and it's expensive, I wouldn't buy it. But if you have it, put it in your deck. It's good. Being able to attack with little units that all have restore, very good. It's going to keep you alive, especially in the end game. Because the longer Red Luke goes on, the more likely you are to lose, I think. Because you're an aggressive deck, not hyper aggro like Vader, but you're in the same space as like Quinlan. You want to like keep tempo, but also be hitting hard and try to go out there. Now Quinlan's a better tempo deck, but Luke is going to try and also match tempo a little bit, and this card will help with that if you're struggling to stay alive. We've got 2 copies of Pillage. This is a 4 resource event, or a tactic, sorry. It's an event. And it says, choose a player, they discard 2 cards from their hand. Good. It's a good card. If you notice your opponent's gripping 2 cards, this is a great card to put in. Or if they just always have a low hand, this may be good to disrupt that hand. They might be holding key combo pieces or key cards they need for the end game. It can be good. I've gotten a little bit of value out of it, but when you use it, it's really good. If you just drop it, sometimes you do force them to discard 2 good cards, but I think it's best played situationally when you know they're holding something to hit you with. We've got 1 copy of Daring Raid. We talked about this card. Deals 2 damage to unit or base. It's good. It's always going to be good. And 1 copy of Open Fire. We talked about this. Deal 4 damage to a unit. Also good. And that's Red Luke. That's the whole deck. If you guys like these deck breakdowns, let me know. I'm still trying to get better at them. I'm trying to not stumble my words and not mess up saying phenomenal a bunch. But that's Red Luke. Thank you for watching this video. This is the end of it. If you made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate it. I've got lots of cool videos coming out in the next few weeks, few months. I'm really excited, loving this game. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Okay, and I'm back with our final deck cost breakdown. So this is the cost breakdown for Red Luke. It's pretty straightforward. Like I covered in the first video, it's not a lot to the deck. In the main deck, some of the expensive cards are Blue Leader, Scarif Air Support, Captain Typho, he's going to add up. But if you can buy that Secrets of Power Padme Amidala deck, then you're getting so much more value because you've got cards for the decks or other sets that you might want, or cards you could just sell. But if you're going to try and buy Typho, that's probably the best way to do it. Andor is like $2. Aggressive Negotiations is $1. But everything else is like sub 1. The only other very expensive card is Sabine's Masterpiece, Crazy Colorful, which is about $25 Canadian. It's going to be expensive, but you're going to get value out of that card, so definitely worth the investment. The grand total for the main deck is $73.87 Canadian, and the grand total for the sideboard is $34.30. And all of that comes from the 2 copies of Home 1. Everything else is less than $2. That's why I'm saying that Home 1 is not a card you really want to invest in, especially because it rotates, because the cost of that card is essentially half of the cost of the main deck. So if you have them already, great. Fantastic card. If you're not worried about the cost, go ahead and pick them up. They're going to be good cards, but they're expensive for the limited value and limited time you have to play them. The grand total of the deck is about $100.17 when you combine the sideboard and the main deck. If you're going to drop Home 1, you could put in another Open Fire and like another Daring Raid, or like different ships if you wanted to, another Keller and Beck. I think that's what I have in mind, is an extra Keller and Beck. And yeah, that's most of the deck. The last note I want to make is Chewbacca. So the cost for Chewbacca there is listed at $2.10. That's because I took 3 of the weekly play ones, the green ones that I talk about with the green border, as you can see on screen.
I think you should pick those up as they're 70 cents each. If you want to buy the regular looking ones, they are about $2 each. For some odd reason, the Faithful First Mate weekly play is so much cheaper, and I think it looks better. So if you can find those, that's where you can save like a decent amount of money, at least for that card. Otherwise, yeah, you can spend $2 per card. My opinion, it's not worth it, but you can make your own decision on that one. And that's the deck. Here's the gameplay. I know I already ran my outro at the last, at the deck breakdown, but I want to thank you again for watching it if you're checking out this video, and stay tuned for more exciting videos. And we are back with the Red Luke gameplay. We're going to see who we hit into, see what we get into against Captain Phasma. Phasma. Okay. Not a deck I have a lot of experience against, but we're just going to try and go fast and see what happens. I actually like this hand. We'll keep this. We will keep this. Love Sabines. I think I drop a black. Well, black one's nice though. But I have no pilot, so I'm gonna go Phoenix Squadron and black one. And that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Deal 2 damage to the player. Okay. Well, we'll pass here. Definitely drop the Cinta. Being able to deploy Cinta or plot out Cinta when you deploy Luke is great. We'll see what we have here. They're going to attack and deal 2 damage to me. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Yeah, double on the base. Yeah, that's great. Okay, we're going to attack here. This might just live until we can blue leader it. This is a fighter. I'm gonna ping down. I mean, letting him ramp isn't great. So maybe I don't let him ramp. But then I'm just taking 2 to my face. I'll take that. And I don't want to be taking 2 to my face. I get to Sabines this turn, which is cool. Oh, see, now I want to. So I'm gonna drop. Jams is good though, because it lets me ramp when I kill Technician. Strangely enough, I'm gonna drop Blue Leader. That seems bad. Maybe the Chewbacca pilot. No, I'm going to drop Blue Leader and see if that's the right call. I don't know if it is. Okay. So I'm going to do 2 damage here. I'm going to ping my base again. Oh, no, he did it himself. Ramp. I'm tempted to go Cham now. And Cham can deal with this. But I'll see what they play out first. Attack here. What do they play? Just a vanilla 3/4/4. Interesting. I think the ramp here is cool because then I can deploy Luke next turn. Yeah, I will go for the Cham. Trigger. What was it? That was Typho. Okay, that's fine. You're going to claim the initiative. I'm going to ping here, and I will pass. I will drop the Phoenix Squadron. Sabines also is good. They're probably going to deploy. What does Phasma do? If you control another first order card this phase. Cool. Okay. I think here I do deploy Luke. On here, trigger Cinta, and then attack with Luke into the base. And I ping. I'm going to just ping this. Maybe that was the wrong call. But I can next turn I can just Sabines and kill this. I saw recently that Captain Phasma actually did good in the tournament. I saw it on Ink, or no, not Ink Decks. It's a different game. Oh, okay. They just conceded. Interesting. Well, next turn, we would have just kept hammering them with the Luke. We would attack here, they go to 20. They've left. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. We would Sabine's and then drop it on Pride. Yeah, that's what we do. All right, we're going to see if we can get another game in, and we'll go from there.
Hello there.
All right, we're going to try and play against Obi-Wan Kenobi because our first game was really short. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to start with the initiative, and I'm going to keep this hand. This hand is great. I'm going to drop Andor, and I'm going to drop Anakin's Interceptor. And I'll start with the Green Squadron. Anakin's is really good. It's just like, it's going to come up later. Smuggle that out on 5, drop the Anakins. Let's see if we can beat Obi-Wan. Use the Force, give an experience token to a unit without an experience token. That's cool. That's cool. A deck that I thought about trying out when I was getting into the game. I'm good friends with an owner of a local game store here. And he's really into this game. So we were like chatting a bunch. And I was trying to find the right leader for me. And Red Luke was ultimately what I landed on. But definitely a deck I thought about. Action, the Force is with you. Use this ability no more than 3 times each game. That seems bad. I guess you just get to get the Force. Never mind. That's quite good. You just get the Force. And then use it for experience. Okay, Jedi Consular. Use the Force. That's pretty good. Claim. I'm going to need to get rid of that pretty fast, actually. That's cool. I'm going to drop... Being able to bop the end of the game is cool. I'm going to get rid of the Y-Wing and see if that bites me in the ass. Let's attack here first. And we'll see what Obi-Wan does. I guess actually being able to use the Force. Okay, so I get General's Blade. That's pretty good. But next turn, no, 2 turns from now I can blue leader. I'm gonna have to just ping this. Uh-oh. Another red 5. Stay on target. Kelleran. I'm gonna drop the second copy of red 5. If they clear my red 5, it's not great. But we'll see. Also, double green for the Obi-Wan seems weird. I have never played Obi-Wan or played against it, really. So that's interesting. They are just going to keep hammering. We're going to do... here. We'll hit here, and we'll ping. That's them to 3. That's nice. Okay, so Typho is going to be nice here, because I don't think they're going to have off-color removal. That would be pretty wild. As soon as against ambush, when the friendly unit is ambush. Oh, that's interesting. Ping here. Typho is definitely going to be helpful here. Let's see what they do. I want to keep up initiative because I can technically ambush out the blue leader right away. But I'm still going to ping here. I'll ping here. They have initiative. Are they going to use the Obi-Wan, though, which will then give me initiative? It would be great if they did. I have to say, the more I play of Star Wars, the more into it I get. Oh, they're just going to play vanilla. Okay. Yeah, this game is incredibly fun. And the friends that got me into it, I cannot thank them enough. It's so fun. Big fan of Star Wars. I'm excited. We got some coming up the channel. I've got 2 booster box openings coming. I have a Legends of the Force and a Jump to Lightspeed box. Both on the way. Should be seeing those videos. Well, as soon as I get the product, I'm going to make those videos. So... unsure if I'm going to do them as 2 different videos or 1 long video. Not sure yet. But very excited to be opening product. Decided to not go Secrets of Power because Jump to Lightspeed is currently my favorite set. But, you know, that's the one I started with, so I'm a big fan of it. We're going to drop the Typho first. So I'm a big fan of Jump to Lightspeed, and I'm looking forward to opening my box and looking forward to ripping Legends of the Force. I want to make Revan work. He looks a lot of fun. I've been trying to get a video together for the channel, but wow, I'm bad at playing Revan. Also, I don't know how incredible it is, but we'll see what they do here. The Typho is going to slow them down a little bit. Okay. I'm going to I got to keep hammering. Ping here. I think they have to, unless they have another upgrade, they have to double swing my Typho, which is bad for them. Though they could use the Obi-Wan to put an upgrade here, but that doesn't feel great for them. And next turn, they know I'm going to deploy Luke. So see what they do here. Because if they might be gone. I'm in a good spot regardless because they're going to have 3 attacks. So I can safely attack and ping and then probably still claim initiative. Disclose. Yeah, I will disclose Kelleran. Didn't really need to disclose here. Okay. Yeah, I think I just keep hitting. What they should have probably done is given the experience to the consular and then swung me. Three. What do I have? I think I can just... I'm actually going to just claim initiative here because I want to have the Luke swing right away. And we're going to see what we can do. Okay, they're going to give the experience to Sundar Peacekeeper, and they're going to deploy Obi-Wan, and they're going to give us... They're going to play Jar Jar. Okay. I think I'm still just trying to hammer home. I think I'm just trying to go for broke here. I mean, I've got a lot of damage coming towards my face right now. Like, I got a lot of damage coming towards my face, but I think I can still get there. Especially because they have no space unit to deal with this, and you can't kill Luke with abilities. So I think I'm still going to get there. Negotiations or stand target. And they're not going to be able to kill me as far as I'm aware. And I'm clearing this next turn. So I think I'm in an okay spot. Yeah, I'm still going to show you Kelleran to heal off damage to make myself just last a little longer. Typho was a great drop for me. I needed that to happen. I've got initiative. I'm still going to kill the consular next turn. Yeah, I think we're just going to be able to clean this one up. Yeah, they can put some damage on my base. This is a cool deck, though. I like Obi-Wan. It seems cool. Not a deck I will probably play in paper. Maybe on the channel I will. But seems like a cool deck. If I didn't have Data Vault, if I was playing the other... What's the name of that base? Energy Conversion Lab, where I had 25 health, 28 health, I'd be in a worse position. Much worse position. Okay, I'm going to drop the Aether Sprite. Yeah, if I had less health, then I'd be in a potentially dead spot here. Unlikely, but deploy Luke as a pilot, put it here. 24. Yeah, I don't think they can kill this. Unless they have a way to suspend it. Or exert it, I guess, but... I think we're going to be able to get there before they can deal 18 damage to me. This is why I love Red Luke. It's a great starter deck. For anyone getting into the game, great starter deck. Out of the 3 on the list, might be one of the tougher ones to pick up, because I think Quinlan is a better deck than Red Luke, and I think that Vader... Well, Vader may not be a better deck. It's just a faster deck. I love Red Luke for the way it plays because, as you see, like I get to kind of... This game wasn't the best example, but I can go wide and I can kind of control with the different cards we have here. So it's a unique combo, and I love it. I think it's a great starter deck. Don't get me wrong, but compared to Vader and Quinlan, might not be as good, but it's still incredibly good. Like Vader has the power to just go really fast, and Quinlan is just tempo, which is decent into aggro if they can stabilize. So those are both the games. I'll put both in because they're both relatively short and both kind of showcase what the deck is doing. Like I said, great starter deck. It was the first deck I played, and I love this deck a lot. So I'm excited to see what people think. We're going to do some other videos coming up on the channel, and I'm just looking forward to it. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.